Vinicius has become the player that Madrid once dreamed Eden Hazard would be. He's filling Cristiano Ronaldo's shoes in a way no one expected, but if we rewind to his early days, things were, let's just say, rough. During his official Real Madrid presentation, it was like Vinicius was learning how to walk again. He couldn't pull off more than a few kick-ups without looking like he was about to trip. Barcelona fans had a field day with it, turning it into a meme fest. In Brazil, people thought Madrid had been scammed, saying this was the biggest heist in football history. Nobody really thought he had what it took to play for Real, let alone be a star for Brazil. Now fast forward and he's delivering when it counts, outshining huge names like Mbappe and carrying Madrid on his shoulders. The transformation is unreal. When Madrid first signed him, it was a massive leap of faith. He'd only had one match with Flamengo, barely 13 seconds on the ball, and Madrid threw 45 million euros his way, making him the priciest teenage signing at the time. The funny thing? He was supposed to end up at Barcelona. Yeah, Vini was a hardcore Barca fan. He even cried during their famous PSG comeback. Barca actually made the first move, matching his 30 million euros release clause. But then Vinicius lit up the Under-17 South American Championship. He scored 5 goals, got 2 assists, and basically made it look like his personal highlight reel. Madrid couldn't let this one slip, so they swooped in, raised his release clause, and signed him. But once he hit Madrid, it was like all that promise went out the window. He struggled big time. In his first games, he looked lost on the field. And the Spanish press had a field day, calling him Madrid's 45 million euros disappointment. He got benched after just 5 games, and, man, the insults flew. Some called him a moron, saying he'd never make it in Madrid. He even got nicknamed after another young Brazilian, Negueba, who became a meme for not living up to the hype. But here's where Vinicius is different. Instead of letting it break him, he came back with a bang, scoring twice and grabbing man of the match in his next game. He started delivering clutch moments, scoring equalizers, and turning games around. The kid had resilience, and Madrid finally began taking him seriously. By the time he joined Madrid at 18, the stage was set. He knew it was an uphill climb, especially with critics saying he'd never make it. Madrid's season was in shambles. So when Solari brought up Vinicius, it was risky but exciting. Vini brought energy and hope, with that fearless dribbling and electric pace, quickly winning over Madrid's fans. By January 2019, he was starting regularly, scoring his first La Liga goal and taking down defenders like they were traffic cones in the Copa del Rey. Madrid fans saw in him a reminder of their legendary wingers: direct, skillful, and fearless. Just as he was breaking through, disaster hit. During a Champions League match against Ajax, Vinicius injured his ankle and left the field in tears. That was it for Madrid's campaign. That year they were knocked out. Solari was sacked and Zidane returned. But with Zidane came Eden Hazard from Chelsea, and suddenly Vinicius was back on the bench, pushed to positions that didn't suit him. Zidane was tough on him, focusing more on what he needed to fix than his strengths. After struggling to get back in form, facing boos from the crowd, and becoming the target of endless memes, things hit rock bottom. Then came the moment with Benzema during a Champions League game, caught on camera saying to Mendy, "He is playing against us." Imagine hearing that from your own teammate. It's enough to shatter anyone's confidence. But every great player has that breakthrough game, and for Vinicius, it came in 2021, during a Champions League quarterfinal against Liverpool. Liverpool was without their defensive anchor Virgil van Dijk, leaving their backline exposed to Vinicius' speed. But this wasn't just a display of raw talent, it was smart, calculated, and clinical. He scored twice, showing not only his pace and dribbling but also an improved sense of timing and composure. It was the first time people saw him not just as a youngster with potential but as a genuine threat on the European stage. After that game, something clicked for Vinicius. This wasn't the player who'd lose the ball trying fancy footwork. This was someone who could break down defenses and deliver when it mattered most. That match silenced a lot of critics and marked the start of his transformation from a talent to a game changer. Unlike Zidane, Ancelotti saw Vinicius' potential as essential to the team. In Ancelotti's first few games, Vinicius was on the bench, but he didn't stay there long. He came off the bench in a game against Levante and scored 2 incredible goals. Suddenly, it was clear Vinicius wasn't just an option, he was indispensable. Under Ancelotti's guidance, Vinicius flourished. Ancelotti didn't try to completely change his style. Instead, he focused on refining it. He encouraged Vinicius to take shots earlier, to be more decisive in front of goal, and to play with confidence. And it worked. Vinícius went from being criticized for his finishing to becoming one of the most dangerous attackers in La Liga. He ended the 2021-2022 season with 17 league goals and 10 assists, an incredible improvement from previous seasons. From then on, Vinícius became Madrid's go-to player for the biggest games. Against Manchester City in the 2022 Champions League semi-final, he was crucial in Madrid's historic comeback. And who could forget the 2022 Champions League final? Vinícius was at the right place at the right time, scoring the only goal against Liverpool to secure Madrid's 14th European Cup. It was a poetic ending, as he once again haunted Liverpool, this time delivering Madrid the trophy. Vinícius's transformation wasn't just about skill, but also his mentality. The boy who once struggled with consistency was now the man who'd show up when it mattered most. Clásicos, Champions League finals, big La Liga clashes, he thrives on high stakes. In a Real Madrid team that's seen legends like Cristiano Ronaldo and Karim Benzema, Vinícius was proving himself to be the next star in line to carry their legacy. If there was ever a season that showed Vinícius at his peak, it was 2023-24. This guy was on fire, scoring 24 goals and dishing out 11 assists in just 36 appearances, a career best. He wasn't just fast, he was decisive, averaging over 3.5 take-ons per game. He'd slice through defenses, create chances, and fire off shots with confidence. Against top teams, Vinícius delivered over and over. Take Barcelona, for example. He netted 4 goals and bagged an assist against them in one season alone. He racked up 2 goals against Bayern Munich, 2 assists against Manchester City, and put up insane numbers in the Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund. He didn't just score, he dominated. In that Champions League final, his stats were off the charts: 9 duels won, 8 successful dribbles, 5 shots on goal, and 2 key passes. For any defender, he's a nightmare, and you could see why from these numbers. Vinícius wasn't just playing well, he was completely dismantling opponents. And then there's the Ballon d'Or. It's not just his teammates like Carlo Ancelotti, Jude Bellingham, and Rodrigo who were behind him. Legends of the game have been backing him for years. Neymar, Ronaldo Nazario, Roberto Carlos, Rio Ferdinand, and even Cristiano Ronaldo himself had all said that Vini deserved it, but he didn't get it. But that doesn't define how good he is. Vinícius Jr. isn't just another great player for Real Madrid, he's the one they look to in big moments. For years, Ronaldo held that role, and it seems Vinícius is ready to carry the torch. Real Madrid, a club with 15 Champions League titles, still hasn't completed a treble. Vinícius is determined to change that, focusing on the Champions League but keeping the treble in sight as the ultimate goal. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and drop a comment on who you think is going to come out on top this season. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got more epic content coming your way. Catch you in the next one.